Okay guys, it's last day of the small bathroom refurb and it's time to clean the grout. We've already done the floor, giving it a scrape, just make it easier for us to walk in and out. Basically it says to just should just scrape off. So, as I was trying to say, I got interrupted. I mean, the bulk of it does clean off, fairly well. But I mean, this is our first time using the product. And as you can see, once you peel it, it does just peel off quite easily. But you've also got to check all your grout lines because you get the odd bit that's just not coming off properly. So you do have to be a little bit more vigilant with the grout. So once you get it scraped, you've got to check it over. I mean, it's coming off easily enough, and it isn't going to be much in the way of time to clean it. But I'm going to be totally honest. I don't think I would recommend it to a client because I got recommended another product last night after showing the first video of a tub version that's still two-part that you mix in a tub, but you apply it like normal grout. I have used a product similar to that before and didn't get on with it, but this one has been recommended as quite easy to use, and I've looked at the videos for it and it does seem a little bit easier. So this is quite long-winded, to be totally honest. So, but anyway, we've got to get on. I mean, this is mess free. If the truth be told, it is pretty much mess free. There's no washing of any sort really. It's just peeling it off, peeling this stuff off. And it does come off quite nicely. But with the work that was involved to put it in the first place, I don't think it's a product I'm going to recommend. But anyway, we must get on. So we'll speak to you soon. Okay, so it took us only, 15 minutes really to get off all the excess. Now I'm going to be totally honest with you. It looks good from a distance. It does look good, it looks clean, the grout lines look solid. But I don't think it's as good as, because you get stuff like that, which then you're limited on what you can do with. We can try and clean up a bit more. It leaves these little bits of residue, you see, so you've got to go around and give it another good clean afterwards. So we need to check them all over again. And the blade, you can see these little marks, and using the blade scraper we can leave like metal marks. See along the ceiling line there, that scrape, that's metal marks, and we're trying to clean off the excess and stuff like that. But I mean, it's going to give you a great water seal, there's no doubt about that. But there are products out there that I think are going to be just easier going forward. The tub versions, as much as they are hard to get in, at least they clean up a bit better. So for me, I'm sorry Go Epoxy, but it's not for me. It's not a product for me. I mean, It might work better for other people, but going forward it's not something I'm going to recommend to my customers. But that's my honest product review. I think you'll get a better finish with normal grout. So I'm going to try this other epoxy grout on the bathroom when we did the bathroom here, which is a 2-part tub which you just whisk yourself and you just use it like a normal grout. Like I said before, I have used a product like it before and it was hard work, but the finish on it was better than this finish, I have to say. But anyway, that's my 2 pence worth, guys. So don't forget, check out the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. And next job now is to start second fixing, get a few holes drilled, get the shower on, toilet in, vanity, radiator. So stay tuned for more. Okay, so radiator is now on the wall and we've got the pipe work in place for the toilet. That's in, we just need to fill it up. Got our flexi pan connector in, we've lowered the feed for the pipe for that so that it gets a nice, a cleaner fitting for the toilet. So now we're on our shower. So with the shower, guys, with the way I like to do this is, this is just these are the best fittings, I think. So what you got to do is this just comes off straight over the wall, straight on, allow for your olive and allow for a bit of waste on both. So you're going to cut your pipes to that, and then we're going to double check our centres, make sure everything's level, and then we will drill our holes. Might just do one there and one at a slight angle there if I can. If not, I'll have to just go without. Our pipes, actually no, I can't because our pipes are that way. So we've got to drill our holes that way. Just make sure you know what orientation your pipes come up. So mine come up centre and then pan out left to right. So above and below is our place for those. So we're just going to whip these off now. That's that one. That one. I'm going to give these a little clean up, make sure we've got no nice clean pipes before we bolt on. Okay, so nice and clean now, so we can now put our brackets back on, our olives, and then our nuts. So with these nuts, guys, they only go on a certain way, and there's a chamfer. That's the square edge for fitting. So with these ones, the chamfer's on the inside there, so that's going to screw on to there like so on both of these, and then we're just going to put our bar across and make sure it's all level and all sitting properly, then we can mark our screw holes out. Okay, so we got our bar on, so we're just going to make sure everything's lining up, and then we're going to put our level on now, make sure she's level, then we can mark our holes up. And that's sitting nice and level, so now we're just going to mark our holes, get them drilled and plugged, and then we can get this all attached. Okay, so we've got our holes marked now, so carefully with our diamond bit. Okay, so that's all our holes drilled, so we've just got to plug them, silicone all this up thoroughly, silicone our holes, and then we'll be away with the mixer. So I'm going to really squirt the silicone in on this, into our holes. We want to maximise any potential leaks, we want to minimise that. Got a little bit carried away there, just take that little bit off. And we're going to put our brackets on, which are still attached to our mixer. Don't do what I've done before, guys, and drop the mixer onto the tray. Trust me, it's expensive. It's an expensive mistake. I need 4 30mm screws. So I'll just pause it, Ricky. Okay, so we're just going to screw this on now. Lining up our holes as they were originally. We've all our silicone lined up, loads of silicone. Alright, now we just tighten and nip up the bolts that are here. So I wind the spanner the right way. Just nip them up. I love these because there's no compression in the wall, there's no push fit in the wall, it's all soldered, it's all protected. So the only place it can leak is on the outside of the wall. So you're never going to have water issues with your shower mixer. Next job, put your washers in. Make sure you put these in with your gauzes. This is the awkward bit because you've got to try and attach all this now. Oh, sorry, hang on, I've missed the shrouds. So I'll put the shrouds on first. Put your little square shrouds on. Get this all bolted on. You ain't got to go mad tightening these up because they are on a rubber washer. Right, just a nip is all they need. And that's that. So our valve in. Now we've got to do the riser rail. Now we just got to put our riser rail up. And then that's our shower head done. Just double check our level. And that's our level, nice and straight. Just how we want it. So we're going to give that a clean riser rail and then we can move on to the toilet and the vanity. Okay guys, so when you're putting your riser rail up, don't be fooled and put the riser rail in the centre, because what's going to happen is your head is going to be off to the side, either way or the other. Because we've got the glass screen here, I like to have the riser rail on the right hand side. This is a 700 tray, so all I've done is I've measured off 350 and I've lined up the head of my shower with the 350 mark, and that gives me my initial place. And all I'm going to do is level it off like so, and I'm just going to put a little right angle in the two corners like so, because I need to mark up my centres. So now that I have that, because the screw goes through that hole and I can't get through that hole to mark it up, so what I've got to do on this one is take that piece off, and now I can. So I'm going to put that over my original markings like so, and now I can mark my tile. And there's a little bit of movement in this, so that will allow me a little bit of left and right to adjust my riser rail. I always go high with my riser rail because I'm 6'2" and I like to have it hit me up from a high up, and you've got all that length there for someone who's shorter. So let's get those holes drilled. So we've drilled the holes, so I'm just going to pump a bit of clear silicone in. Just helps to seal it all up. Now, I don't personally ever use the raw plugs that come with these things because I find them very crap. I like like to supply my own. Right, okay. You might as well pause it for a minute. So, put my top one on first. Sure, that's it. And then we put our bottom one on. Did I bring the other long screw in? Yeah, I didn't, did I? Okay, and the other long screw. Put your level on, make sure she is plumb. Beautiful, beautiful. And I'll give that a tighten up by hand. So just nip them up and put our little covers back on. And that is our riser rail done. Make sure everything looks nice and square. And just got to put the hose on, clean up, clean the tray, and then we move on. Toilet, vanity. Hopefully then the mirror will turn up, and then we can start looking at silicone. And there you go, hose is on. So that's the shower now in. So when you're now stood in the shower, even though the riser looks like it's off centre, the head is directly above you. Now, that's how I do it. I'm sure someone's going to say, no, you should have the riser around centre, but no, you shouldn't. I'm sorry. Not unless you want to stand to the side to get decent, or you want to direct the head towards you. That way now it's directly above you. So we've just got to finish tidying up, get the toilet in, get the vanity in, and then a load of silicone in. Refill the radiator system. We've got some covers to go over those tails, which we've got to do next as well. But yeah, we're getting there, guys. Won't be much longer now, and then we'll be finished, and then we'll be on to the next job. So stay tuned. Okay, it's time to start setting out the toilet. So we've got our toilet in, and it's up against the wall. It's not plumbed in yet, but we do need to mark out where our holes are. So we need to do a little pencil mark, like so, and again, like so. That way then we can mark out our floor fixings. Okay, so what we need to do now is get these fixed in, but what we need to do, we need to measure out the thickness of our toilet wall. I had to grind these sides off because they were enclosed too much. So we are looking at 40 mil. So we now need to measure in, 40 mil from that point in, and 40 mil from that point in. So that is where it should screw in, but as you can see on this side, we're right up against the pan. So we're not really going to get much of a fix in, and because of the state of the size of this toilet, we should be able to get away with just silicone in it to the floor. So in this particular case, I'm not going to screw it to the floor, and we were just going to get it in, get it connected, get our cistern on. We will screw the cistern to the wall, and then by the time that's siliconed and we silicone our little caps in there, this will be solid, it won't go anywhere. That is common practice, believe it or not screwing the pans down. My biggest concern is one of them might be over my cold feed pipe. I don't think it is, but that's a risk I'm not prepared to take as well. And it is, like I say, very common practice. A lot of plumbers don't bother siliconing or screwing these the bases of the pan down. So we're not going to on this occasion. This is a big old toilet. It ain't going to go anywhere. It is a heavy lump, and once the cistern is screwed to the wall and it's silicone, that'll be solid. So let's get the cistern put together and go from there. Cistern time. Now these are a pain in the backside. I don't like silicone, but I have had them leak, so we will be putting silicone on all our fixings. These will go in first, because if you don't put these in first, you'll have a nightmare afterwards. So do yourself a favour, get the fixing bolts in first. So we're going to pull down the shroud like that. You're going to get a nice bit of silicone just in there like so. Push our shroud back up, and then another bit of silicone around the base like so, and then we're going to drop that in. Now the problem is these are what bolt the cistern to the pan. It's not the best system, this, to be honest with you, but they do work, but they're just a bit of a pain in the backside. So then we've now got to get this through this hole down here. So let's get that in. Okay, that's that one in place. Now we've got to do the siphon, which we will spin off our cap. And we're going to do exactly the same as again before. Take the washer off. I'm literally going to, even though this bit just clips in. So again, bit of silicone between each layer. Push that on. Nice bit of seal. Try not to get it on your threads, because if you get it on the threads it'll be a nightmare to clean off. Okay, remember that is then going to go in our hole like so, and we've got our washer and our bolt. Big pair of grips. Don't go too tight because it's only plastic, but you just want to hold that inside and just give it a little nip up. Make sure we get a nice solid seal so that when you're taking the actual siphon in and out, it's not going to fall apart on you. Next job, we've got to put our bung in. Just we're only using, this is a multi-side for your feed, and we know what side ours is. So again, silicone between each layer. Now, our feed is going in the top, so we need to cap this bottom one. Like so. Put our bolt on. Sorry guys, I can't show you everything because it's awkward. Okay, so now we just need to bolt that up. Give it a nip. Mustn't lose our fixing bolts. Okay, now it's time for the site. Now it's time for the our filler. There is a technical name for it, I just can't think. So same situation again. Put the silicone between our layers. Now I don't like. I'm not a silicone. Not a big fan of silicone, but when it comes to toilets, you can never be too careful. So we want it facing that way down so that our filler is that way. So then that will then go in now. Like so. We've got our washer and our nut. Our bottom. that's me happy with that. So next job is to get this attached to the actual pan. Make sure you don't forget your donut. It's got to sit on there like so. And there should be somewhere here, there she is, our black washer. Right, next job, attach the cistern to the pan. Right. Getting our bolts to line up with the hole and drop her in. Now I could have done this out there, but as you can probably imagine, it's a bit of a problem of trying to lug it in here afterwards. So now I've got to get under here. It's all done by feel. I'll get the nuts on. Now what I'm doing is I'm actually pushing down on the cistern and then tightening the bolt up. So that's that done. Now I've got to clean my hands because I've got silicone all over them. Because we're only going to glue the tray, the toilet down, we are literally going to cheat. So all we're going to do is just going to put this through here like this, do our screws up, do that on both sides. And that gives the look that our holes have been filled. So now the next part, get our toilet connected, because it's not completely shut off properly for some reason. Right, so toilet seat just pushes in for the top, so we don't need to get to the underside. So let's get the toilet somewhere close. This is going to be the hard part to film, because we've got to get the flexi connected, which is in itself going to be quite a challenge. Then I've got to get the pan connected, I think. My pain in the backside. Right, pause it a minute, mate. Okay, so to make this easier, because I can't get my hand up, I'm going to attach my flexi to the cistern first, and then I can get it connected to our valve, which has already been done once. So carefully, make sure we're not cross-threading anything. I'm not a fan of these toilets, I'm really not. Ugh. They're not made for servicing. I'm going to cheat. Just going to undo it a little bit. No, we're going to undo it all the way. Of course. So I want to make sure. Sorry, Ricky, pause that and get me the mat. So, one thing you do want to do is, if you don't want to do, is cross-thread that. And I was almost cross-threaded. Luckily, I ain't done it finger tight. And now I can get it on there properly. And I know I'm not going to have any issues going forward with it. Make sure that our float is going to work okay. Yep, this works fine. Get another little. Right, now I'm happy to connect this up. Get our system back on. Now we should be able to get our pipe connected. So let's start again. Wash our hands again. Once again, we've got silicone all over the place. Right, not forgetting to put our siphon back in. Put it in the right way round would help. Right, so unfortunately there's no fixing holes to fix this on, so I'm going to have to silicone it to the wall as well. So that's a bit of a pain. So first job, connect the pan connector. And you do need a flexi for this. So again, I'm going to pull it out the base. Make sure we get a nice. Alright, let's get that on there. So pause a second, I'm just going to. So make it easier. A little bit of soapy water just to help it slide on. It's so awkward to get these things on. Alright, gotcha. Alright, so that's our pan connector on. Now we can get it pushed into the ground. I'll do the same thing again. A little bit of soap and water just to help give it a bit of lubrication. So she's in. Alright, pan connector is connected. Now the feed pipe. First things first. Get rid of the soapy water off the floor. Showing you the hard part of the job. Why they have to make things so difficult. You can't have a massive flexi under there because it'll kink when you're pushing it in and out. So you've got to get a decent flexi, a decent length in there so that it won't kink but it will still do the job. Yeah, it's quite tight. Jesus, that's hard work. Right, so as you can see, we've got pan connectors in, flexis in. So the next job really now is turn the water back on, fill the system up, give it a couple of flushes and just make sure that nothing's leaking. So I'll get in the loft now and do that. Okay, so we're now filling up. I've got to admit, it's very slow to fill this stuff, this one. But we are looking good. We've had one flush so far. Nice and dry on our filler pipe, which we are going to give another dry on. So everything is looking good. So I say we've got water in the pan. So just going to keep flushing. Put my hand in. Apart from the sprayed water that I put in, everything seems good. So we're going to push it back for now. Toilet is in. Now we can actually see through our holes here to make sure we've got no leaks. So we're going to let the system fill up and keep flushing it. Anyway, for now we're just going to let it fill up and keep flushing it. It is really slow to fill. Everything is loose, connected properly, so I don't understand why it's such a slow fill, but it is what it is, I suppose. I don't want to start playing with this bit because I've got the mains on at the minute. I don't want to flood the place, so we will look into that. Next stop, get the basin put together. So we've got to get the waste on and the taps in, so let's get it on. Okay, so taps. or tap in this case. Comes with flexies and our fixing kit. Alright, rubber on the bottom. Thread on. You do the filming, Ricky. That's all it's going. Okay, still on. Right. Hot and cold. Flexies. Now these will just do up hand tight. They will not, and you will not get anything on them to make them tighter. Which is a bit of a surprise, but it is what it is. You'd think they would make it so that they would make it longer, so you could get a spanner on it or something just to nip them up, but they don't. Not that I've never had one leak, but they're double washing and stuff, and they seal up pretty damn well, to be fair. Through the bottom. First one is our rubber, and then our bolt, our fixing plate, and then our nuts. For the minute I'm just going to get it in there, like so. Pause it a sec, spanner. Alright. I do have box spanners for this, but don't really need it for when you can get on it like this. Pretty straightforward. Just making sure we're square. Square and nice and tight. That's it. Yep. Not good. Alright, so guys, I am old school when it comes to these. I never use silicone. I use the old plumbers, mate. Got to be careful because this has got a built-in overflow, so we don't want to go mad with this stuff. It's been in the van, so it is cold. Just going to give it a little warm up. A little bit more. I think enough just to get a good seal on it. If you've got silicone rubbers on these, and the silicone rubbers are usually pretty damn good. You have one at the top, which goes in, but this is plastic as well, so I can't go too mad with this. And then I'm just going to push in our plumbers, mate. Get it in there, keeping it off the thread as much as possible. Ready. And we've got our other rubber seal, or silicone seal, sorry. Turned it inside out. I'll do that. Get that down there as well. Get off the bolt. Give that a good crank. Now the good thing about the plumbers, mate, is that it will get into the thread, and it'll prevent the thread from ever leaking. And I've never had a basin trap actually leak a basin waste. So everything's looking good. Just checking inside, make sure nothing's got, no, everything's looking nice there. So we're just going to get the grips, give that a final turn. Everything's looking good on the toilet front. It's always a tense moment on the toilets. Don't over tighten these are only plastic and they will crack. So just a nip, that's all they need. The plumber's mate will do the rest. And that is our basin in. So next job, secure the vanity in the right place. So, and then worry about our doorknobs afterwards. I need to lift it up and get it over the top of my waste pipe, just like so. I'm going to pull it off the wall a little bit because we need to make sure the door can open without binding. Now I just need to mark the wall. So that's another good thing about these pencils, they actually go through the holes. I'm just going to mark up our fixing points so we can get the holes drilled. I'll get this out of the way again. Get them drilled. Don't worry about filming this bit. Okay. So we've drilled the holes. It's gonna get it back in place. Now we don't want to put it up tight. What I might do is just take the back feet off so that it sits flat. So what we do for that is normally there's some plastic feet on the bottom of these. And usually you can just pull them off. So what we do is lay it down. I'm just going to whip these ones off so that way it will sit flatter against the wall. They're only on with like nails. I'm probably doing it a bit awkwardly, to be fair. There we go. So they're off. Now we're going to silicone the back of this anyway. So it's all going to be siliconed up. So, and it's not a major water area, so it'll be fine. Alright, let's try that again. That's better now, see? Now it sits a bit flush to the unit, and now we can get some 50mm screws in. Where the screw gun is. Screw gun. Nip it up. Oh, hang on, it's the bloody torques. I wonder why I couldn't screw it up. Right. Okay, vanity in, nice and secure. Next job is cut the waste to fit. So what we're going to do, we're going to take off this door to make access easier. That way then I'm not fighting the doors. I'll take them both off actually. Makes life so much easier when the doors are in the way. Shame they're not the quick release. So next job is check our pipes are going to connect. Well, we're going to get our sink. I'm going to drop that on there like so. Into place. Alright, bring it forward a tad. See if our flexies are going to fit. Yes, they are beautifully. So our flexies are fine, so we can get them up and twist it out the way. So the next job is the bottle trap. Get that on. Yeah. So that's the one that goes on the bottom here. Like so. Alright, tape measure. up there. So now we're going to measure from the front of our 30mm pipe to the inside of the bottle trap. So, not that I can see it, but I can do that. Alright, so about 120. So I need a bit of pipe. So we're going to cut this at 120. And that's going to be connected to our waste, to the bottle trap. Like so. And we're going to screw that back up there and turn it round. It might need a little trim, but that's neither here nor there really. So then, pencil. Why don't we pencil now? Oh, got it. Alright, so then we're going to mark the bottom of our pipe. That's where that pipe's got to be cut. Get that out of the whole way. We can now pull our pipe forward. Get that lined up with our arrows. Now, that should, now that that's now relaxed back against the wall because it was pulled forward, it should all fit together. And all it'll need is one 90-degree elbow. So with that there like that, that is absolutely perfect. So we're just going to glue a 90 on there now, put our tails in there for the hot and cold, and then that's the basin done. Alright, so our first job is glue the elbow to our bottle trap joint. Give it in, give it a little twist, make sure the glue's in, and then wipe off the excess. And then what we can do then is we can literally glue this one up like so. Getting out, put some gunk on our pipe. I always do both sides. Sure, someone's going to tell me it's not right. And then slides on there. And before it goes off, we can do our final connection before it goes off to make sure everything is lining up as it should. And that's the waste connected. So next job, hot and cold, and then we're basically mirror and silicone. So that's the waste done. So I'll get rid of those now. The trap. Lift this out. Like so. I think stop filming now. Oh dear, it's all going, isn't it? Right, so the reason I said to you earlier about keeping the radiator tails is because you'll put that in there, and one in there, and then you'll get a nice flat finish for your rubber from your hose to sit on. So while it's off, we'll bolt them in. It just makes it easier to bolt the hot and cold up. And now everything looks nice and chrome finished. So all we've got to do now, put the basin back on, connect the trap, connect our flexes. Happy days. Now obviously making sure that you do connect up the hot to the hot and the cold to the cold. Right, so first job, waste. So the first thing we're going to do is to get our bottle trap connected. Make sure everything's nice and tight. Okay. follow the tails down. You should get them in the right order. So cold to cold. What you want to make sure is that you're not getting any kinks in that pipe that you're saying you must make sure of. Trust me, that's the last thing you want is kinks. Okay, right, and then pressure on. Right, that's water turned on. Moment of truth. Let that run, get some hot water flowing. Get the air out of the pipes. That's getting nice and warm now. That's starting to heat up now nicely. There we go. So they are having a combi boiler fitted, so the pressure should get better. Plus there's still a lot of air in the pipes, but that's getting lovely and hot now. Alright, and everything underneath here is all looking as it should. I'm going to leave that now, give that a bit of time. We'll leave the doors off for now, because I've still got to drill for the handles. And we're going to have a thorough clean, get all this sticky stuff off the toilet, get Ricky's blood off where he's hurt himself. Idiot. Sliced his hand open quite badly, so I've told him if we don't go to the hospital tonight, because he's insisted in staying, that there'll be no work for him the rest of the week, because he's a naughty, naughty boy. Aren't you, Ricky? Right, so that is us pretty much done. Just got to throw the toilet seat on, which is a 10-minute job. Doors back on, clean thoroughly. Silicone the shower tray, silicone the toilet, silicone the vanity and any of the floors, and that's us basically done. We're still waiting for the mirror though, which is due, hold on, not due for another hour or so, so can't silicone the basin or around the toilet until we fit the mirror. It's a bit of a ball ache, but we've got plenty of cleaning to do. Most of the tools can go back to the van. So we're just going to have a good tidy up now, and then check everything, check for leaks, toilet seat. I'll leave the doors off. Yeah, that's basically it for now. So just stay tuned, guys, for the final part of this saga. See you soon. Bye bye. Okay, so toilet seat is on, heating system is filled up. We've just got the heating on, so we just got to make sure everything's working. So for those of you that say, oh, we haven't put a Durgo in, originally I was going to put one on the back of the toilet, and that was before I realised it was a back to the wall pan. So obviously we couldn't put the right pan connector on that has a room for a Durgo. But saying that, the shower trap is what's called a dry trap. So what it is, it already has its own air admittance valve effectively, because you've got this little thing here, this little bit of rubber, and that is what stops the smell. So, and that's what sits inside this trap. So when you get suction, it will open this automatically and let air in. So we don't have that issue with this particular room. So that's how we're getting over that. But anyway, neither here nor there. So this is what we've done. A good tidy up, good clean. We're still waiting for the mirror. We've put the toilet seat on, given it numerous flushes. We've cleaned inside the cabinet, put the doors on. We're just cleaning the floor, bleeding the rads. I'm going to put this in for the shower. The shower's already been tested. So basically we're almost there. It's basically waiting for this mirror, because until the mirror goes up I can't silicone anything, because I've still got probably 2 or 3 holes I need to drill directly above the basin. I'll use the hoover, minimise the dust, but you know, these are the things we have to deal with, unfortunately. So just bear with us. Once the mirror's here, we'll get it finished. See you in a bit. Okay, so we're still waiting for the mirror. I can't wait forever, so I've made a start with the silicone. So all I've done so far is just done around the tray so that I can get that bit done. I haven't smoothed this out yet. All I've done is I've given it a good thick bead everywhere. And I'm just going to give that a little squirt with water and start smoothing it off. So these are what I use, guys. You can find these on Amazon. So you get, they are numbered for 5mm. They got 8.3. You got 6 something or other, and a 10mm. So I'm going to be going, I want to get a half decent bead, so I'm going to be going with the 8. That's what I'm going to go with. So a bit of tissue, soapy water. This is how I do it. You don't need to drown it in water. I'm going to need to refill that. So once I'm happy, I'll start keeping the tool flat, just a little bit at a time, just smooth it out, wiping off the excess on the tissue. You have to make sure your surface is nice and dry before you start. Now I tend to waste a lot of tissue when I do my silicone, but my silicone beads tend to speak for themselves, so I'm happy with the way they turn out. That's all that matters. And when you're done, they should look like that. Now, blind man would like to see it, so I'm just going to crack on now and get the rest of it done. Okay guys, we are officially finished. It's all silicone. The mirror turned up, sod's law, halfway through me siliconing, but we managed to get it up without causing any damage, so that is the main thing. So, the finished item, a vanity unit, a nice silicone bead all the way around the vanity, and up the corner we've got the mirror, hello, which is motion sensitive somewhere. Hang on. There we go. So that's a motion sensor, and it's anti-mist. It's got a little heater in the glass, so it should never fog up. I'm not a big fan of these bloody things. But anyway, silicone on the window bead across the back of the window. I didn't bother doing the sides because the decorator will put some cork there to paint. And then you've got your shower and your silicone bead all the way down. Now, I'm no professional silicone bloke, but I think it's a pretty tidy job all the way around. All the way around the toilet and then into that corner, and then obviously all of that as well, and then along there, up the door frame, and then of course down the last corner. So that is our finished ensuite. Happy days. Radiator is all up and running. It was hot earlier, they've turned the heating off now. But yeah, all done. Just going to polish the rad, just have a quick check around, make sure we haven't missed anything. And we are finished. So the next job we've got coming up for videos, I'm not working tomorrow because I allow an extra day or two on every job. So tomorrow I've got the day off. Thursday we've got some flooring to do, some LVT in the bathroom, and some odds and sod jobs. Friday there won't be much content because I've got literally an outside tap and a new stop tap on a house, and then I've got a site meeting with a builder in Tring who wants to potentially start using us for his kitchens and bathrooms going forward. Now, got no issues with that, but I have had some bad experiences with builders. I got knocked for 700 quid by one of them. It's a long story. Basically, he was supposed to supply the materials and I was there on day rate with me and Ricky, and nothing was there. We waited 3 to 4 days for the bath. By then we'd already ripped out, first fixed, and was ready for tiling. And normally with a bathroom, I like to start where the bath is so I can gauge my tile height. So we had to start tiling blind, and the job took probably 2 or 3 days longer than it should have done because nothing was there ready for us. So that's one of the reasons why I'm due for builders. Plus, I like being my own boss. I like being in control of my hours and my money. Don't like being dictated to. So I'll have the meeting and we'll just see how it goes. If he's happy to accommodate how I work and my videoing and me doing videos and blogs, great. If not, then we're probably going separate ways. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So if you don't see me before, I'll probably see you Thursday, and then next week we've got a bit of a crappy week. I've got a small little downstairs toilet which I'll be on my own doing. It's just a cold fed only with a radiator to do, a bit of tiling. There's nothing massive, but it's going to be hard to film because it's a little diddy cloakroom, and I've only got 3 days, 4 days if I need, but 3 days to get it finished. So come back and see us soon. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, stay up to date with all the latest and greatest from DC Joinery. See you soon. Bye bye.